Okay, back again. I saw an absolute banger video by Elliot where he built his own Rolex using parts from Aliexpress. I was like, dude, that watch looks so damn clean. I have to have it. So I decided to go on Aliexpress, and I've got this box here full of different watch parts, and we're gonna try and replicate what he did because that was so freaking sick. I just really wanted it. Okay, cool. I'm gonna put Elliot's video down in the description below if you want to check it out. He's built a few other watches and they are absolutely flame-o. So, okay, I've got these little watch finger gloves that I am going to chuck on right now. I assume I have to put them on both hands. I don't know how this is going to go. I've never put these on, but I assume it shouldn't be too difficult. Okay, got this mat down. This should hopefully give me a nice clean surface to work off. I had my mouse mat before, but it's pretty nasty, so we'll just leave that as is. First of all, or first thing he does is he actually grabs a movement. So I decided to pick up this thing here, which is a movement holder. Oh, is he gonna focus? I don't even know. It's just hard to see, quite frankly. So this is the movement holder. Yeah, movement just goes in there, and that is the movement right there. Okay, that's looking spectacular. Hopefully you guys can see that. Looking nice, all right. Let's pop that open. Okay, so Elliot had a dial, which I also bought. Let me find it. It was a freaking sick dial. That I really liked, but I didn't want to go for an exact copy of his. There it is, there it is. It says, who cares, I'm already late. It is a freaking beautiful dial, I must say. That leg there is a little bit bent, so I'm gonna get a pair of tweezers and I'm gonna try and bend that back just a bit. And you know what? That looks like it's enough. Shit, I think I popped my glove. That's stunning. Beautiful. Don't know if you can see that, but that looks freaking great. I bought this dial first of all, just a plain white dial that I could write something on. Not bad, not bad. I do like it quite a lot. I don't know which dial I'm gonna go for. I've really loved the design of this style. But you know what? I'm going to try something a bit different, and I'm gonna try right on this dial here to put onto my watch. Okay.
So I didn't like the way it looked, so I tried to wipe it off and screwed it up royally.
Mistake. So a dab of it. I actually hope this doesn't rub off the coating. And you know what? That's not really working for me. So I've got this pencil eraser that I'm hoping I can use, which will rub off this text. I don't know if that's working either. Oh, you know what? I think it is working. Definitely not the nicest font, but gotta make it your own. I've written, if you're not early, you're late, which is a nice bit of advice. That is not bad. I mean, it's not as elegant as the original text of like, who cares, I'm already late, but it's quite nice. I've got some hands here as well. They're in this container. Okay, well, I thought I was about to break something, but turns out I'm fine. Oh man, these hands are absolutely freaking tiny. I don't even know how to describe how small they are. They're just really damn small. Okay, probably gonna need a pair of tweezers. And I also need some hand pushers. Okay, that's my hand pusher, and I want to grab my hands out of this tiny bloody bag. Oh my gosh. Oh my, I'm shaking. I'm shaking. Let's put that at 12 o'clock. Minute hand, come on. Okay, wow. Crap, that was really difficult. Last piece is the second hand. Okay. I've unfortunately torn the bag and I've destroyed my second hand. Okay, after that absolutely disastrous start, I finally got the second hand working. So, yeah, it took me ages actually. I had to look up a different YouTube tutorial, but eventually we got there. So, yeah, I guess we're gonna start this whole journey again. Let's put some finger gloves on. Because it took me so long to get this second hand onto the movement, I think that you can tell that it's kind of smudged. The face of the movement is really, really smudged right now. So I don't really know what to do about that. Whoopsie, just dropped it, but not the end of the world. I think that I am going to replace it. I'm just going to use the default one. I really did like this, but it was low-key a little bit ugly. So let's just take this second hand off and we'll put this to the side, maybe in there. And if you don't know which one this is the same one that Elliot was using, the Who Cares, I'm Already Late dial, which is absolutely a fantastic looking dial. Not that I know anything about watches. And yeah, that snapped on. That looks good. And now it's the hard part. It's doing the damn hands. Okay. The hour hand and the minute hand, they're quite easy to do, I'd say, but the second hand is a real pain in the ass. All right, I've got my hands here. I'm gonna use this tool here, which is just the hand setter. I'm actually going to set the watch and see when it hits, when the date turns over. So at the moment, it's on the 3rd. Let's just turn. Okay, that's about to turn over. It's almost there. This is where I'm gonna grab my hour hand. Yeah, set it on like that. And push. I didn't hear anything, so I don't think anything happened. This watch building process has tested my coordination. Okay, so let's chuck the minute hand on. I'm not going to use a pair of tweezers or pliers here because I think that I can do it on my own, which may prove to be my downfall. Let's try and line that up. All right, that looks like it has worked. Okay, the second hand is, yeah, when I first put it on the first time, when I was trying with the black one, I thought that the second hand attaches in a completely different method. So it turns out that there is a tiny pin in the very center of the movement. You probably can't see it. It's so small, but essentially what goes on is the second hand has a little tiny hole in the middle, and that's what the pin goes into. So I don't know how I did this the first time. It might have been just pure dumb luck, as Professor McGonagall would say. Sheer dumb luck?
Sheer dumb luck.
Okay. Now I just have to put the second hand on again, which is easily the hardest part. I've pushed it down a bit more. Oh my god. Oh my god, it didn't take me half an hour this time. It's taken me 10 minutes, I think. So, okay. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
Okay, this is day 2. I've had to do a separate voiceover because there was copyright music in the background of my first one. So yesterday I had a lot of trouble putting on the second hand. I had to do it twice, once without the hour and minute hand, just to make sure I got it right. And then
last time I tried this, it didn't work. I think the second hand kept getting stuck in the case against the glass.
So as you heard, yesterday when I tried to put the movement with the hands into the case, the second hand was not ticking. I think that the tip of the second hand was actually hitting the glass because I'd bent the second hand a little bit. So I had to go back, refit the hand, straighten out that second, and now it's working fine. Okay, now I've stuck the crown onto the crown stem and I've just tried to insert it into the watch. I had so much trouble with this. I think that it took me maybe half an hour to an hour just to figure out how this works. I eventually figured out you can only pull the crown stem out of the watch when the crown stem is set at a certain position. So when the stem is in the watch, there are 3 positions where it's like fully inserted. There's one position where you wind the watch, one position where you set the date, one position where you set the time. So I learned that you need to pull the crown stem out a little bit and then push down on the inside of the movement to remove the stem. So that took me a while to figure out. And then when I was cutting the stem down, it took me maybe 5 or 6 cuts before I got the perfect length of the stem. So that was very time consuming. Here you can see me setting this stem. I've got it to the right length, so I'm just checking that I can set the date, the time, wind it, and also screw it down. Here, I've got the gasket that goes into the back of the watch. And now I'm just gonna hit it with some lubricant here. Take it out carefully, and then put it into the back of the watch. And then finally, we can screw down the back case. Give it a few turns by hand, and then finish it off with a little rubber ball. At the end of it, I had to adjust the wrist links. Had to take some out just because it was a little bit too large for my wrist. I had heaps of trouble removing the watch strap. I didn't have a pry tool, and the tolerances in there were very, very tight. So it took me also maybe like 1 or 2 hours, took me many, many tries to get that out. And I only undid one side because the other side would have just taken way too long. But we eventually get there, and then the watch is ready. That is looking really, really clean. Hit it with a peel. Overall, the project was about 100-ish USD or $150 dues, and took about 4 to 6 hours. So I think now that I've got the experience down, you can probably get it down to like half an hour or an hour. The most difficult part is definitely just setting the second hand. Other than that, it's a very, very straightforward build, but just be very patient when you're first trying to set the second hand. It's going to take you quite a few attempts, so don't get too frustrated like me.